This is a girl who has 39.4 million followers on Instagram. That is more than double the amount of Jews on this earth. So when she posts something calling Gaza Palestine, never mentioning Hamas, never acknowledging that this is a humanitarian crisis that is being caused by a terrorist regime that steals the aid, that murders the civilians who try to get it, what she is doing, knowingly or not, is spreading propaganda. Propaganda that demonizes the only Jewish state on the planet.
Olivia Rodrigo recently weighed in on Instagram on her story talking about the Israel-Gaza war, asking people to donate to what is going on in the Gaza Strip. And Lizzie Savetsky, a pro-Israel activist, weighed in on TikTok to share her thoughts for everybody to hear. Before we get into the video, 80% of you, the audience, are not subscribed to this channel. We have 3 to 4 videos every single day here. Please just take 5 seconds, press that subscribe button below, press that bell icon so that you do not miss out on any of the action here. We also have a free newsletter right to your inbox every single week. The link is in the description of the video. Here is Lizzie.
Story, because I know that our initial reaction is anger and the desire to blacklist her, but that's not productive. I'm not here to cancel anyone, and I genuinely don't think she is evil or malicious. Honestly, I think that she believes she's doing something compassionate, and that is what makes this even harder to watch. You know, I know people say that we shouldn't glorify artists, we shouldn't listen to their political spiel, but that's just not the reality that we live in. This is a girl who has 39.4 million followers on Instagram. That is more than double the amount of Jews on this earth. So when she posts something calling Gaza Palestine, never mentioning Hamas, never acknowledging that this is a humanitarian crisis that is being caused by a terrorist regime that steals the aid, that murders the civilians who try to get it, what she is doing, knowingly or not, is spreading propaganda. Propaganda that demonizes the only Jewish state on the planet. You know, I wonder if she's even stopped to think about why this is the crisis that she wants to post about. Of all the tragic things happening in the world, why she chooses this one, where the only Jewish state in the world can be falsely blamed for victim suffering. What about Sudan? What about Syria? Where is her voice for them? And that word Palestine. It's not just a term. It is a political message that erases Israel, that implies that Israel has no right to exist. I don't even think she realizes this. And she follows it up with calls to donate, with heartbreaking language about starving children, with zero context, leaving anyone who reads it to believe that Israel is the villain here. So it stirs up hate. But most importantly, what it does is it puts Jews all over the world in danger. You know, when Jews were set on fire last month in Boulder, when the Jewish couple was murdered in DC, what did the attackers scream as they acted? They screamed, "Free Palestine," as they attacked Jews, as they murdered Jews in America. So this isn't abstract. This isn't about politics. This is literally life or death for the Jewish people. I blame the media, the legacy outlets that have been telling one side of the story for decades. But when you are an artist like Olivia, with that kind of reach, you don't just get to parrot headlines without consequences. You have real responsibilities because your words literally shape our culture. I know it's sad, but it is true. And right now, this culture is becoming more and more hostile to Jews every day. You know, the truth is I'm not even angry at her. I am just devastated that this is where we are. My kids love her. Hell, I love her. She is incredibly talented. It's just another one of our favorite artists that is being used as a pawn. And this is how the tide turns against us. It starts with misinformation. It spreads through celebrity voices, and before you know it, it is normal to hate Jews again. And whether or not Olivia realizes it, she will surely have Jewish blood on her hands from aligning herself with a movement that is nothing but a death cult. It is absolutely tragic.
Unfortunately, Lizzie is correct because her and the Miss Rachels and the Bob Villains and these individuals who have just absurd amounts of influence on humanity. I saw a really good post today or yesterday about how you should not cast your ballot. You should not submit your final submission. You should not form your final conviction on a crisis in the world, on a conflict, because of your favorite music artist, because of your favorite influencer, your favorite TikToker, YouTuber, content creator. They should be your favorite because of that thing that they got you to want them to be your favorite for, not because of his or her political beliefs, where they stand. In fact, you know, if you take Mr. Beast, for example, the biggest YouTuber in the world, you have millions of people across the world at this point, probably billions, millions of people across the world who know who he is, who support his work, who love what he does. And you have an incredibly large amount of people within that population who you would probably categorize as super fans at this point. Yes, many of them might be younger than 18 years old. They might be a young adults. They might be teenagers. A lot of them are in their 20s. A lot of them are in their 30s. Enough of them are in their 20s and 30s to the point where I'm confident to say that not all of them are aligned politically. Meaning not all of them are aligned politically with each other and with Mr. Beast. Not that he shares his political beliefs, but if he were to do that, what, you're suddenly not going to be a super fan anymore? And that would be pretty hypocritical, wouldn't it? I'll tell you right now, Chris Brown, who's one of my favorite music artists, he had a moment, I think it was Amsterdam at one of his concerts last year, where he had this like pretty famous video where he goes, yo, 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 cue the music, stop the music. And he says something like, there's a lot of genocide happening in the world right now. And people in the crowd started cheering. You could hear Free Palestine, you saw flags. He was igniting their fire a little bit. I still listen to Chris Brown. I do. People, after what Miss Rachel has done, I've seen their comments be like, fuck her and boycott her and even worse things, the threats that she gets. That's not me. I don't think she's a bad human being. I don't think we should boycott her. I obviously think that what she's doing is extremely dangerous, and I'm going to continue to draw attention to it, but I think that we also need to be cognizant of how we react as the people who are trying to stand on the side of truth and not fall into the trap of many, many other people. And so I respect Lizzie for even getting on there and saying, like, she is talented, because Olivia is talented, and she has 40 million followers on Instagram, people. It's more than double the amount of Jews on earth. It's insane to think that in the press of a button on her screen, she can reach more than double the amount of Jews on earth. We need to audit. We need to understand and comprehend how imperative that is in this conflict when there are more Olivias out there. As a model of influence that we should possibly look into in the future, not to pay them to say things that aren't true, but to understand how influence works top down, not bottoms up. Thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you guys next video. Here are 4 ways you can help us grow if you believe in our mission. On Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal, you can directly contribute to helping this message grow and reach more people across the world. If you want to join the inner circle, join our Patreon with different tiers, and of course, our Discord community, which is free with people from all across the world. The links to every single one are in the description. And last but not least, to the other Brock community, I love you. Ani ohev otchem. I'll see you guys next time.